Beneath the wide skies of southern England stands one of humanity's most enduring enigmas, Stonehenge. Rising from the Salisbury Plain, these massive stones have watched over the landscape for more than 4,000 years. Their presence commands attention. Monoliths aligned with the movement of the sun, yet silent about their true purpose. Archaeologists tell us that construction began around 3000 BCE, in multiple stages that spanned centuries. The stones themselves, some weighing over 25 tons, were hauled across great distances, some from quarries over 150 miles away in Wales. The effort required immense coordination, ingenuity, and social organization, suggesting Stonehenge was more than just a monument. Evidence points to celestial alignments, the sun rising directly over the heel stone during the summer solstice, and other markers aligning with lunar cycles. This has led scholars to speculate that Stonehenge functioned as a kind of ancient observatory, tracking time and seasons in an age before written calendars. Yet mysteries remain unsolved. Was it a sacred temple for rituals? A burial ground for elite members of society? A meeting place uniting distant communities? Excavations have revealed cremated remains, animal bones, and artifacts that hint at feasts and ceremonies, but no single explanation has ever fully unlocked the truth. Even today, as the sun dips below the horizon and shadows stretch across the plain, Stonehenge continues to stir questions that reach beyond archaeology. Perhaps it is not only a monument to the past, but also a reminder that some human creations were never meant to be entirely understood. Stretching across the arid desert plains of southern Peru lies one of the world's most perplexing creations, the Nazca lines. From the ground, they appear as simple grooves etched into the soil. But from the sky, vast figures suddenly emerge. Colossal shapes of animals, plants, and geometric designs carved into the earth more than 1,500 years ago. The Nazca culture, flourishing between 200 BCE and 600 CE, is credited with creating these immense geoglyphs. Some span hundreds of meters, their scale so vast that they can only be fully appreciated from above. Among them are a hummingbird, a spider, a monkey with a coiled tail, and a series of straight lines stretching for miles across the desert floor. How were they made? The builders scraped away the top layer of dark, oxidized stone to reveal the lighter soil beneath. The dry climate of the Nazca Desert preserved them for centuries, leaving an enduring mystery etched into the land. But why were they created? Some researchers believe the lines were ritual pathways, walked during ceremonies to call for rain in an unforgiving desert. Others suggest astronomical alignments, mapping the movements of the sun, moon, and stars. More speculative theories reach beyond Earth, imagining signals meant to be seen from the heavens. Despite decades of study, the true purpose of the Nazca lines remains elusive. As the desert wind drifts quietly across the plain, the figures lie undisturbed, vast messages written in a language we have yet to fully understand. On a hilltop in southeastern Turkey lies a site that has rewritten our understanding of human history, Göbekli Tepe. Buried beneath layers of earth for millennia, it was uncovered in the 1990s, revealing massive stone pillars arranged in circles. Some weigh over 15 tons, carved and raised more than 11,000 years ago. What makes Göbekli Tepe extraordinary is its age. Built around 9,600 BCE, it predates the invention of writing, metal tools, and even agriculture. At a time when humans were thought to be simple hunter-gatherers, here they were gathering in large groups, quarrying stone, and erecting monumental architecture with remarkable skill. The pillars themselves are adorned with intricate carvings, foxes, snakes, wild boars, vultures, and abstract symbols. These images suggest not only an artistic vision, but also deep symbolic or spiritual meaning. Many researchers now believe Göbekli Tepe was the world's first known temple, a place where scattered communities gather for ritual, ceremony, and perhaps the earliest form of organized religion. Yet the site raises as many questions as it answers. How did people without farming or permanent settlements manage such a vast project? Why would hunter-gatherers devote so much effort to building sacred structures? And most puzzling of all, why was the site deliberately buried around 8000 BC, preserved beneath the soil until its rediscovery? Göbekli Tepe challenges the timeline of civilization itself. As the sun rises over weathered stones, we are left to wonder, did belief and ritual come before farming, before cities, before everything we thought we knew? In the heart of Crete, inside the ruins of the ancient Minoan palace of Phaistos, a small clay disc was unearthed in 1908. At first glance, it seems unremarkable, roughly 6 inches across, baked in terracotta. Yet the Phaistos disc has become one of archaeology's most enigmatic artifacts. Pressed into its 2 sides are spiraling rows of symbols, 241 in total, arranged with extraordinary precision. Human figures, birds, tools, plants, and abstract shapes repeat in sequence, stamped into the clay using carved seals. This makes it the earliest known example of movable type, thousands of years before printing presses would change the world. The disc is dated to around 1700 BCE, within the flourishing Minoan civilization, but its script remains undeciphered. Unlike linear A or linear B, no other examples of this system have ever been found, leaving scholars with nothing to compare. Is it a hymn, a calendar, a record of events, or a form of magical incantation? The mystery deepens with singularity. Was it a common text in its time, with countless copies now lost to history? Or is it a unique creation, a one-of-a-kind object whose meaning was never meant to spread? For more than a century, experts, linguists, and cryptographers have tried to unlock its code, yet the disc keeps its silence. Encased in glass today at the Heraclean Archaeological Museum, it draws countless eyes, each searching for a key that might reveal its message. And perhaps, hidden in those spiraling symbols, lies a voice from the Bronze Age still waiting to be heard. At first glance, it seems unremarkable, roughly 6 inches across, baked in terracotta. Yet the Phaistos disc has become one of archaeology's most enigmatic artifacts. Pressed into its 2 sides are spiraling rows of symbols, 241 in total, arranged with extraordinary precision. Human figures, birds, tools, plants, and abstract shapes repeat in sequence, stamped into the clay using carved seals. This makes it the earliest known example of movable type, thousands of years before printing presses would change the world. The disc is dated to around 1700 BCE, within the flourishing Minoan civilization, but its script remains undeciphered. Unlike linear A or linear B, no other examples of this system have ever been found, leaving scholars with nothing to compare. Is it a hymn, a calendar, a record of events, or a form of magical incantation? The mystery deepens with its singularity. Was it a common text in its time, with countless copies now lost to history? Or is it a unique creation, a one-of-a-kind object whose meaning was never meant to spread? For more than a century, experts, linguists, and cryptographers have tried to unlock its code, yet the disc keeps its silence. Encased in glass today at the Heraclean Archaeological Museum, it draws countless eyes, each searching for a key that might reveal its message. And perhaps, hidden in those spiraling symbols, lies a voice from the Bronze Age still waiting to be heard. Far out in the Pacific Ocean, on a remote volcanic island known as Rapa Nui, rise hundreds of silent stone figures. The Moai, carved between the 13th and 16th centuries, these statues, some towering over 30 feet and weighing up to 80 tons, stand as guardians of one of the world's most enduring mysteries. Each Moai is distinct, with elongated faces, deep-set eyes, and solemn expressions. Most were carved from volcanic tuff in the island's main quarry, then transported miles across rugged terrain to their platforms or ahu, near the coastline. But how these colossal figures were moved remains uncertain. Some theories suggest they were hauled on wooden sleds or rollers, while others propose they were walked upright with ropes, rocking side to side in a slow, careful march. The statues are believed to represent revered ancestors, projecting spiritual power and protection over the island's clans. Yet the scale of the Moai and the enormous effort required to create them raises deeper questions about the society that built them. Why did a small, isolated community devote so much energy to these monuments? And what role did the Moai play in the rise and eventual decline of Rapa Nui civilization? When European explorers arrived in the 18th century, many statues were already toppled, victims of internal conflict or natural forces. Today, restored Moai stand once again, gazing across the ocean with the same inscrutable silence. As the trade winds sweep the island and shadows stretch across the stone faces, the Moai remain a testament to human ambition and to a mystery that may never be fully explained. In the heart of North America, just across the Mississippi River from present-day St. Louis, lie the remnants of a vast and mysterious ancient city, Cahokia, at its height between 1050 and 1350 CE. It was the largest urban center north of Mexico, home to tens of thousands of people and covering nearly 6 square miles. The most striking feature of Cahokia is its monumental earthworks. More than 100 mounds once rose here, some serving as ceremonial platforms, others as burial sites, and still others as markers aligned with celestial events. The largest, known as Monk's Mound, stands 100 feet tall and covers an area larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza's base. Archaeological evidence reveals a complex society with skilled planners, farmers, and artisans. They constructed wooden palisades, vast plazas, and even a solar calendar known today as Woodhenge, where timber posts mark the rising and setting of the sun at solstices and equinoxes. Yet despite its sophistication, Cahokia remains shrouded in mystery. Who exactly were its builders? What belief system inspired their monumental works? And why, by the 14th century, was the city abandoned? Some theories point to resource depletion, climate change, or internal strife, but no single answer fully explains its decline. Today, only the earth mounds endure, silent, grass-covered monuments to a civilization that thrived and vanished long before European contact. As the sun sets over the plains of Illinois, Cahokia reminds us that the story of ancient America is far richer and far more mysterious than we once imagined. In the rolling hills of southern Africa stand the ruins of Great Zimbabwe, a city that flourished between the 11th and 15th centuries. Built entirely of stone without the use of mortar, its massive walls, some stretching over 30 feet high and running for hundreds of feet, still inspire awe today. Great Zimbabwe was once the heart of a powerful kingdom, controlling trade routes that stretched from the African interior to the Indian Ocean. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of gold, ivory, and imported goods such as Chinese ceramics and Persian glass, proof that this city was a thriving center of commerce and culture. The most iconic structure is a great enclosure, an immense elliptical wall that encircles a series of smaller enclosures and a mysterious conical tower. Its purpose remains uncertain. Was it a royal residence, a religious sanctuary, or a symbol of power meant to impress both subjects and visitors? No written records from the builders survive to tell us. For centuries, the ruins stirred speculation. Early European explorers, unable to believe that local peoples could have built such grandeur, wrongly attributed the city to outsiders. But modern archaeology has firmly established that Great Zimbabwe was the achievement of the Shona people, a testament to their engineering skill and social organization. Yet mysteries endure. Why did its population decline so suddenly around the 15th century? Was it drought, overgrazing, or political upheaval? The silence of its abandoned walls offers no clear answer. Today, Great Zimbabwe stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, an enduring reminder of Africa's hidden past, and of a civilization whose legacy still echoes through stone. In a cathedral in Turin, Italy, rests a length of ancient linen cloth, 14 feet long and 3 feet wide. Upon its surface appears a faint, sepia-colored image of a man, front and back, as if wrapped in death. This is a shroud of Turin, one of the most studied and debated relics in the world. For centuries, many have believed it to be the burial shroud of Jesus of Nazareth. The image shows markings consistent with crucifixion, wounds on the wrists and feet, a gash in the side, and traces that resemble a crown of thorns. The mystery deepens with the image itself. It is not painted nor drawn, but rather appears to be a discoloration of fibers at their very surface, with no pigments penetrating the threads. Even under modern analysis, the exact process by which it was created remains elusive. Radiocarbon dating conducted in 1988 suggested the shroud originated in the Middle Ages, between 1260 and 1390. Yet critics argue those results may have been skewed by contamination, repairs, or sampling errors. Subsequent studies have pointed to pollen grains, textile patterns, and even traces of ancient limestone consistent with origins in the Middle East. For scientists, the shroud is a puzzle of chemistry and history. For believers, it is a sacred icon of faith. And for skeptics, it remains a medieval forgery of extraordinary skill. Whether relic or relic-like mystery, The Shroud of Turin continues to draw millions of pilgrims and researchers alike, each hoping to glimpse, through its ghostly image, a truth that refuses to reveal itself. Off the southern coast of Japan's Yonaguni Island lies a submerged formation that has puzzled divers, archaeologists and geologists alike, known as the Yonaguni Monument. This massive structure sits 80 feet beneath the waves, its terraces, sharp angles, and broad steps evoking the ruins of an ancient city lost to the sea. Discovered in 1986 by a local diver, the site stretches nearly 500 feet in length and rises more than 80 feet in height. Its features resemble walls, staircases, and even platforms that appear too precise to be the work of nature alone. Some observers see what looks like roads, gates, or even carvings etched into the stone, yet the debate remains unsettled. Many geologists argue the monument is a natural formation, shaped over thousands of years by tectonic activity, currents, and erosion. The sandstone of the region naturally fractures into straight lines and flat surfaces, producing patterns that mimic human construction. But proponents of a man-made origin suggest it could be the remains of a lost civilization, possibly dating back to the last ice age, when sea levels were far lower. If true, it would represent a chapter of human history far older than most accepted accounts allow. To this day, no definitive artifacts, tools, pottery, or signs of settlement have been recovered from the site, and so the Yonaguni Monument remains suspended between two possibilities: the geological wonder or the submerged memory of a forgotten culture. Beneath the shifting currents of the East China Sea, the stone steps of Yonaguni wait, silent, immense, and unresolved.